So we are in the hill country of Judea. And when we are coming from Jerusalem, we can understand why this was called hill country of Judea, because it's very hilly. There are many hills, and this was the place where Zacharias and Elizabeth lived, close to Jerusalem. And so a marvelous thing happened here, beloved Christians. When the Mother of God received the news of her Annunciation, and Gabriel in Nazareth told the Mother of God that she would bear a child who will be God Most High, and as a confirmation of this, to see that her cousin Elizabeth was 6 months already great with child, she who once was called barren. The Mother of God, as it says in the Gospel, made haste to go to the hill country of Judea. So she went all the way from Nazareth to come here to visit Elizabeth. And at the spot, which is built on the spot where the house of Zacharias and Elizabeth lived, a marvelous thing happened, because Elizabeth came out and greeted the Most Holy Theotokos. And at that very moment, the babe, 6 months old, John the Baptist, which was in the womb of the Holy Elizabeth, leaped with joy. That is, even in the womb, before being born, he perceived the divinity of our Saviour in the womb of the Mother of God. And he was so joyous to perceive his own Creator being in the womb of his own mother, that he leaped with joy, and the Holy Elizabeth, being inspired from her own child in the womb, said those marvelous words that blessed art thou, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. And who am I that the mother of my Lord should visit me? So anybody that asks, well, why do you call the Theotokos the Mother of God? Let them read the Holy Gospel. Because it is right there in St. Luke's chapter 2, St. Elizabeth calling the Most Holy Virgin the Mother of her Lord. A marvelous thing, truly. Her confession that she who came, this young woman who was her kinswoman, was carrying in her womb the God Creator. And then again, if Protestants ask us again, well, who said that you should be venerating the Mother of God? Let them hear the song of the Theotokos. What does she say? From henceforth all generations shall call me blessed. Well, we are fulfilling that we are calling her blessed, generation after generation. So this is what happened here. And they embraced each other, and the Most Holy Theotokos, it says that she abode there and then left. So it remains a mystery whether the Most Holy Theotokos stayed for St. John the Baptist's birth and she was here, or whether did she leave earlier than that. At any rate, Zacharias was the one to whom was given that promise that he would not speak until he would see the birth of St. John the Baptist. And as we read in today's Gospel, at the moment when the time came for Elizabeth to be delivered, they asked Zacharias, who should we call him? Well, Zacharias, because it was a matter of custom among the Jews that the son should receive their father's names or grandfather's names. But not so. They said John shall be his name, because John means grace in Hebrew. And that was announced by Gabriel the archangel, that this child who will come from Elizabeth will be the forerunner of the Lord, who will make his paths straight, and he will be called John. And so he was called John. And Zacharias, just as Most Holy Theotokos, we have a beautiful song from her. From this very place also we have a beautiful song of the prophet Zacharias, when he said, the magnified God of Israel, who gave to his people a forerunner to himself, so that we should, these marvelous words that it says that we should all be able to worship in peace, in righteousness. They should be free from oppression of the enemies who won't allow us to worship, but rather that we should be allowed to have a worship that is righteous, in all righteousness and peace. And that is what we ask our God, that he should always provide us a way that we should be in all the tumults of the world, all the terrible calamities that happen around us. No matter what happens, that we should have that blessing and that grace, that we should be allowed to worship. We ask nothing else from the world. We shouldn't be asking anything else from the world. Whatever it wants to take, let it take. The taxes, the this and that, what Caesar wants. But that should we are concerned, and that should be, we should take care that we should always be allowed to worship in all righteousness, in all sanctity, in all holiness, and in peacefulness. And that's what St. Zechariah says, that is what the Messiah will bring, that what Christ will bring for his people, that they'll be delivered, first of all, from the spiritual enemies, that we should worship in all holiness, being freed from the bonds of passions and sin and the influence of the devil, and also from the persecutions of this world. And what happens after that? As soon as Zacharias proclaimed it, he proclaimed that all the people around heard that this marvelous thing had happened, and they laid up in their hearts that this boy, when he will grow up, he will be a great preacher, a great prophet of the Lord. But what happened? 2 years after this, was 2 years and a half after this things happened, Herod came and started to slaughter the children in all Judea. And that is why Elizabeth had to flee with young John, and they had known the cave where they hid is not far from here. There's a Franciscan monastery, and they keep the cave there where St. Elizabeth reposed. And St. John, henceforward, was taken by angel to dwell in the desert. And he's there in the desert, in the roundabout here, he started to preach. And they even say that his first place of preaching, I don't know whether it refers to him preaching from the womb, maybe.
Well, there is that tradition. So then Mother God embraced Elizabeth.
Well,
those words were St. John's words.
Not Elizabeth, right? Yeah,
He
exactly.
spoke as an embryo from his mother.
There you go. So, good. Yeah. So that means that that's his first preaching.
That was the first preaching.
So that's the place of the meeting.
Yeah, when he said,
that's
went to this meeting that my lordship called me. For lo, soon the voice of my salvation in that my ears were big and joy. So that was St. John the Forerunner spoke.
Yeah. From with the voice of her mother.
Also when the archangel came to Zechariah and told him, your prayers have been heard, he was troubled when he heard the message about his wife being pregnant. But when he says your prayers are being heard, well, he's praying for the salvation of his people. And that's why his prayers are being heard, because the salvation of his people is now being fulfilled through the birth of his son, who's going to proclaim the road forward to our Savior.
Because he was in the Holy of Holies. And there's no that in being in the Holy of Holies, and that was the point of the priest there, was that he should pray for the remission of his own sins and that of the people, right? So a priest, a holy man, wouldn't be praying there that he should have a child, right, in the Holy of Holies.
So that's why he was surprised.
He was surprised. Well, I wasn't praying for that, right? Yeah. When he was told that, your wife shall conceive, I wasn't praying for that. It was that is, he was praying for salvation of people, and in a way that he didn't understand, it happened because he became a father who indicated the road to the Savior. He made his roads straight. I have a hymn here we can chant. In the Visitation, it doesn't have its own feast, but there's a hymn included in the feast of the birth of the Forerunner, which relates to what we are to the Theotokos visiting Elizabeth. Okay. Let's chant first the dismissal hymn and the Trondakion of St. John the Baptist, and then this little both now, which relates to